Hello and welcome to Spirituality, Sexuality, and Love, our fireside chat this week at Shamans Dream Gifts here in the Fox Run Mall in Newington, New Hampshire. My name is Dr. Kevin Ross Emery. I am here 2 or 3 days a week, basically Wednesday through Friday, doing intuitive intervention sessions. You can find out more about me at mydrkevin.com or weboflight, weboflight.com. You can find about my books, DVDs, CDs, the kind of sessions I do, and how I can help you. You can find out more about Shamans Dream Gifts by coming to our community page on facebook.com/Shaman Dream Gifts. Or just come right over here to the Fox Run Mall in Newington, New Hampshire. And so we're going to get started in our talk. But I do want to say that this week we have on special here at Shaman's Dream Gifts that all of our animals are 10% off. And we have quite a collection of animals, from big rams to horses to dinosaurs to alligators to turtles. We've got them in stone, we've got them in wood. We've got every kind you want. Now this is the kind of pet that's going to last you a lifetime. You take home and you don't have to clean the cage and you don't have to feed it. So if you're looking for maybe a pet for yourself or somebody else, this is the week to come get it. Also, we have pyrite, also known as fool's gold, as our stone of the month. So you can get 10% off on that. We chose pyrite, or again fool's gold, this month simply because the month started with April Fools. And then in the middle of the month, you have those paying fools, the IRS. So we have given you pyrite. So come on in and join us. We're doing a little free talk, but you're welcome to shop while we're doing it. So here, again, so this week, our free fireside chat, which we do every week, is called Sexuality, Spirituality, and Love. Now, a lot of times people like to compartmentalize. There is that thing, we talk about romantic love. We can talk about the love of God, the love of beauty, the love of spirit. We talk about friendship love. We talk about the love of, the love of music or the love of art. There are all sorts of kinds of love, but oftentimes we tend to compartmentalize that. We compartmentalize love from spirit, unless it's the love of spirit, and from sexuality. So what I want to do today is I'm going to take a little time, not a lot of your time. We've all got good things that we want to be out there in the world and doing, as we have beautiful spring days here in New England. So what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the fact that spirituality, sexuality, and love really all work together very nicely. They're kind of like triplets that move our life forward. First of all, let's start with a brief overview of love. We have all these different kinds of love, but love at the end of the day is about making a deep, intimate connection with another person, or an idea, or a thing. It can be nature, it can be trees, it can be crystals. We see people come on here all the time and their eyes light up and they twinkle when they look at some of the crystals we have here. But what it is it's that deep connection, that feeling as if you and this person, or this concept, or this idea, or this reality, or this object even, that the two of you have something special together. That you have something that transcends what either of you has alone. You take that crystal and that crystal feels like it's yours. Look at this beautiful Uruguay amethyst. See how deep purple it is? Well, if I, quote unquote, fell in love with it, which is a different kind of love than if I fell in love with somebody from Uruguay, okay? But what I would feel is I would feel this connection. It would actually become part of my energy field, and I would become part of its energy field. I actually taught a class once called Spiritus Loci up in the Alps, up in the Bernese Alps, looking from Switzerland into Germany, and it was absolutely beautiful. And Spiritus Loci was about the spirit of place, and that every place has its spirit. Every place has its energy. And so those energies can entwine, and true love energies entwine and they synergize. The crystal sparkles a little bit more if it resonates with my energy. And I sparkle a little bit more if I resonate with its energy. So with a person, we know it's love when they come together and they create synergy. I wrote a poem not too long ago called The Synergized Heart. If you go to my Facebook fan page, you can see it. You can scroll down and find it. It's called The Synergized Heart. But it's about that coming together when love doesn't complete you, but it expands you. It makes you more. It makes you better. But it doesn't complete you, because you can't have a synergized heart with somebody if you are not complete to start with. So it has to be 1 + 1 = 5, not 0.75 plus 0.75 equals, no. You have to be in completion yourself. They have to be in completion themselves. The heart love energy is often thought of coming here from the heart chakra. That here we have divine love and we have human love. In it we have romantic love. Romantic love is oftentimes looked at as being pink, when the heart chakra is actually green and pink, and we call it the high heart. And the high heart is that kind of romanticized love in a way. A love that used to be in the time of the Renaissance, that it was a romantic, it was a chaste love. There wasn't any of that lusty stuff going on, if you know what I mean. It was just a love of beauty, and a love of the beauty of the person and the soul and what they represented. And you went and you got your jolly somewhere else. It was the time. So, but in that love, we have it right here in the center of all of our chakras, in the center point of our energies as they flow in and out of our body. Divine love is not all ushy and gushy and, oh, you're so perfect, and I look at you and I see nothing but perfection. Divine love is actually, I love you enough from a place from my God self to your God self, which means that sometimes it can actually be hard. It can be lovingly critical, because it loves you enough to want you to be your best. It loves you enough to want you to overcome the things that are holding you back. So sometimes divine love feels like a slap upside the head. It's loving somebody enough to tell them the truth, not lie to them so they won't feel bad. Because a lot of the things that people confuse with love is, I used to call it this: I'll buy your BS if you'll buy my BS. Y'all know what BS means, right? So I'll buy yours, you buy mine. I'll tell you you're fabulous, you tell me I'm fabulous. I'm going to support you. We'll have perfectly matching dysfunctions because neither one of us feels complete. So we hope that if we wrap ourselves together and become codependent, that somehow we'll create a whole something. And it's usually a whole mess. And I've seen people that have been in 40-year marriages that can be best described as that. So, love is when two things come together and each is expanded, synergized, and moves beyond. Now, spirituality and sexuality, I teach a whole course on this. But in a very brief, spirituality is when we are connecting to that which we see as spirit. God, Goddess, Allah, Buddha, the great pumpkin, I don't care what you call it. But it's when you know that you are part of something that is larger than you, that you can draw from in some way that you don't even understand, that actually will catch you when you fall. Now, maybe it lets you bump an elbow or bruise a knee, but it more or less, if you allow it and have some faith, will catch you. And if it lets you fall, it's because that falling with something to need to move you up higher than you've ever been before. There is a bounce factor in the human soul, believe it or not. Drop just right, at the right speed, at the right time, we can bounce ourselves right into the heavens. Or we can end up bouncing against rubber walls. Oh, I guess that doesn't count. So, anyways, spirit. It is the spirit within us. Spirit moves me. It is the spirit. It's the spirit of America. It's the spirit of the soul. It is the spirit of the individual longing to connect and be of service to all that is around it. It is the spirit of the spirituality, which we often, sometimes we will call God or Goddess, the universe, Great Spirit, but the other name we call it is Creator. Why? Because it created life. It created the universe. It creates things. It is life. It is the life that moves us. And so when we talk about the Creator, we talk about that we can create art and music and poetry. We can create all sorts of things. And sometimes that creation process is within us and the greater us or spirit. But it is creation and it's co-creation. Well, what's sex? Procreation. Recreation, procreation. What is the sexual energy? So spirit is up here, the heart is here, and creativity and sexuality is down here. And so you have the basic act of creation, procreation, the continuing of the species. But also in the higher vibration, it is the creation of music and art and plays and poetry. It is the creation of inventions, of new ways of doing things. That creative energy is very spiritual and very practical. It is that of us moving on and keeping the species going, us evolving the species, us making a better world for our children to leave them. And then we move up to love, right there in the center. Compassion, divine love. Synergistic love and expansion and growth. And then we move up and we are here at spirit. We are here to that energy of all that we can be. That we are, and those of you who have seen some of my earlier fireside chats, I talk about souls being cells in the body of God, Goddess, Creator. Cells in the body of the Creator. And what do cells do? Cells divide and multiply. That's how they make the babies grow, the division of cells. And so here we have this beautiful cycle of recreation, creation, procreation, an expansion of the humanity, of the soul, of the being, of the essence, done in and around and through love. Now, you can separate these, and that's what I call evil, because evil is just live backwards. Think about it. When you don't live your full self, when you don't live and be all you're here to be, when you are not teeming with life, you got it backwards. Now that's evil. That's about as evil as it gets, is when you are alive but not living. When you are here but not present. When you are part of everything that goes on around you but do not participate. That is live backwards. That's evil. And then there is spirit, that higher, ever-driving, never can be killed force that moves us through lifetimes, that moves us through realities and universes, comes from within us, goes outside of us, and comes back in and connects us with all that is. All of the rest of humanity, no matter what their gender, no matter what their orientation, no matter what their religion, no matter what their upbringing, all of it, no matter what their culture. It connects us with all that. And yes, it connects us with the trees that we cut down unnecessarily. It connects us with the water that we pollute, with the air that we toxify, that the food which we have poisoned, which in turn we eat and has been poisoning us. But we are connected to all of it, and all of it is connected to us. So when we talk spirituality up here, sexuality down here, and love in the middle, it is that infinity symbol. Love at the center, connecting us as a spiritual being into the reality of a being that creates, recreates, and procreates, which then gives us more to love. Gives us children to love, art to love, music to love, whatever. And that creates yet another spiritual experience, which we then love at a different level, and then we recreate, procreate, and create more. So there is no opposition. Sex is not sinful unless you're in some form of marriage. Now, lust, as an addiction, as an escape, can be like any other drug. And so I'm not suggesting that that's good, but that's not love. And one of my favorite quotes of a character out of one of the books I always liked was, "If it be love, the Lord don't mind." The sad part is, in today's day and age, oftentimes it's not love. It's fear, it's bruised ego, it's low self-worth, it's low self-esteem. It is not synergizing, it is draining. It is not empowering, it is abusive. But then that's not love. But like my character there says, if it be love, the Lord won't mind. And on that note, we're going to sign out here. I want to thank you for joining us for our free fireside chat. We will be back next week. There is a possibility if you tune in versus watching this on a replay, because I know we've got hundreds of you that watch these on replays during the week. We may be shifting our day a little bit that we're going to be doing these. We're going into summer and there's some things moving around. So I will get back to you, but just pay attention. Make sure you like Shaman's Dream Community. Make sure that you like My Dr. Kevin. That's facebook.com/MyDrKevin. Be in the loop, know what's going on. Come on in and visit us, and we would love to see you, and namaste.